Bam, right there. How's it going? Yeah, that's me, Token Vaping. How's it going, guys? So, today's juice review is the final flavor in a line from a manufacturer who does have a few lines under their name. This is probably one of the ones that is most well-known. Just depending on, your location and where you're at, what your shop carries, you may or may not, it may or may not be, but from what I can tell and from what I've seen, this is the more popular or more common known line that comes from out of this company. The company is called My Vape Bar, and the line is Emergency Vape Stash. Now, if you've seen any of these, big shout out. I got to give a big shout out to my friend Matt Chambers. You can follow him on Instagram. He was the one that actually turned me on to this line to check it out, and then I found out about the other lines that this company does and just have become a huge fan. This line has a vanilla custard that I did a review on that I am a big fan of. I blew through that bottle. It was really well done. All their flavors are rock solid. Whether or not you're a fan of the flavor, that's a different story, but the flavors are all made well. They are made in a, well, I'll get all to that here in a second. So we're doing the final flavor in this line, which is a blue Razz Slushie. Now, again, all the flavors that I've tried so far have been done on point, have been really well. However, I'm not a fan of this type of flavor, but that does not mean that it's not a good flavor, if that makes sense. These are sent to me for the purpose of these reviews, so I do want to thank My Vape Bar and Emergency Vape Stash and everybody. They do have their own separate page, and then My Vape Bar has their own page as well. Again, kind of getting sidetracked. So we're going to do the vape. I'm going to go ahead and do description of the flavor, cloud check, all of that, and then I'll get into the website and everything else. So we're going to be doing this on a fresh cotton right in here, as you can tell, and my cotton of choice, bam, yeah, Texas Tough Cotton. Did you catch that? Just works really well for me. I've been using it for quite a long time now, and it just has little to no break-in time, and that's the main selling point for me that I like, is that you get a lot of flavor right off the bat and not have to wait for it to break in. So we're going to go ahead and pop this open. And as you can tell, it is a pretty beefy unicorn style bottle. It's 120 mils or 4 fluid ounces, depending on however you want to compare it, like that. 120, 4 fluid ounces. So you get quite an ample amount of juice, and it is in a 120 mil bottle. Does have a workable tip. Now, two things real quick. If this is bigger than you care to carry around on you, you can transfer it to a normal size unicorn bottle if you want to. If you use tank still and some of the fill port holes are a bit tinier, you can transfer it over, and it does make it easier. If you choose to use it in this size bottle, I always suggest just snipping off a tiny bit off the tip that lets the air flow through a little bit easier, so that you don't get any pressure buildup. Now, a lot of companies are trying to prevent that, so they're making the bottles to where the buildup isn't as bad. But, there are some people who do worry about that, and there are some bottles out there still that do suffer from that in a slight bit. So this is not appearing to cause any problems right now, because I'm not squeezing the bottle very hard, and it's basically, coming out quite easily. So now, as I said, blue Razz Slushie. So I'm curious to see if it's going to pop as a really hard candy flavor, or if it's going to have the slushy type aspect to it. Now, if they're talking a slushy in the sense of like, the crushed ice slushy, things like that, I'm hoping that it doesn't have a strong minty or mentholated style flavor. And if you've tried any that are supposed to have that type to it, you know what I'm talking about. It's not a menthol, it's not a mint. It has a cooling factor to the flavor that's supposed to emulate like the icy feel, the ice cube feel to it. I've not become a fan of that type of flavor, so I'm hoping that it doesn't come off too much like that. I almost like when I read the name and it says blue Razz Slushie, a lot of people I know think of like slushies, things like that that you get at the gas station or something like that. I tend to think of snow cones. I'm not really sure why, but it's just when I think of slushie, that's what I think of. So if it tastes something like that, that wouldn't be super bad. Okay, so as always, vaping at 75 watts, and this is blue Razz Slushie from the Emergency Vape Stash line of My Vape Bar. Okay, I'm going to do a quick re-drip, and this basically is just for the specific reason of making sure that what I just tasted is the bulk of the flavor and that I'm not missing something. On fresh cotton, you know, you always run into that problem. So this is just to ensure that I don't misinform or, you know, misjudge a flavor for you guys out there, and that you get the wrong impression from something just because I didn't give it, you know, a little bit more of a chance to it. So here we go. Okay, blue Razz Slushie. Definitely get the blue Razz. It most definitely has a candy type feel to it, but it is not super strong to where you feel overly sugared by it. It doesn't taste like syrup. It does have more of, I guess, a lighter candy flavor, so that it actually does taste like you're eating the candy aspect of it and not just like a syrup. If that makes it a little bit easier. The slushy part is where I get a little lost with it. Honestly, I definitely get the blue Razz. I'm not sure what they were going for as far as the emulation of the slushy aspect. There is no mentholated feel, that airy feel like that, which is good because I'm not a fan of that. But it definitely, it just tastes more blue Razz than it does slushy. However, on a positive note, if you've ever actually had a snow cone and you get to the bottom part, the syrup that after it's mixed with the ice and then it drips to the bottom of the cone cup, and then you drink that, that actually is closer to what I taste in this than I do like if you bite into the slushy itself. So it depending on how exact you're going for a slushy, it gives or takes with that. But if you're going for like an actual slushy fresh after the syrup is pumped onto the ice, to me it falls a little short on that. But the follow-up, like the leftovers at the bottom of that cone cup, this most definitely emulates. So it does hit it to a point. I do like the fact that it is not overly sugared, and that's the fact that they use, you know, they use a clean, how do they, on their website, if you go to their website, they use an ISO 7 lab facility, so you know it's immaculate, you know that it's a lab clean facility, you know that they take this very, very seriously. It's US grade, USP grade, everything, locally sourced ingredients. I mean, they don't play around, they don't joke when it comes to this. They take this very seriously. They want everybody to get as quality and premium a product as possible. They are based out of Atlanta, Georgia, I do believe. And you can find out any of the information about this company if you want to. You just go to myvapebar.com, and it'll have all the lines that are under that banner on that website. Like I said, simplistic style label, you know, emergency vape stash, EVS. It comes in a 0, 3, or a 6. This is a 3. It does have the name right down in here, and then the size, and then it has the warning and ingredient labeling on the back, and then it has 2, 3 of their media spots. It has their website, it has their Facebook, and then their Instagram. Real simple. The label does have a little bit of a pop to it, but not too much. They don't really care how detailed the label is. It's what's inside the bottle that matters to them. But definitely check them out. Overall, the entire line is rock solid. All the flavors, you know, the blue slushy one might be a little on the fence for some people, but all the other flavors have been totally on point for what they're supposed to be. Like I said, the vanilla custard was my favorite out of this line. They do have a few other lines. I will be doing reviews on those as well. If you are interested in keeping up to that, click that red subscribe button on the bottom if you would be so kind. It'll keep you up to date on my videos. Thank you for everybody who already has done so, and thank you for taking the time to watch my videos. My Vape Bar, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to review some of your flavors. I look forward to reviewing some of the others for you as well. As always, guys, I'm Token Vaping. I'm here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Pinterest. Anything that I can do myself to help further enhance your vaping experience and make it more enjoyable for you, it's the only reason why I do this. So definitely reach out to me if you have any questions, comments, concerns, a particular video that you'd like to see done. I will do everything in my power to make that happen. Until next time, always try to remember, truly love yourself. Vape on, vape strong. Have a good one, guys.